Hey guys, what's going on? Massivebeatzz here, checking in with the Universal Audio VOLT Interfaces, and let's put it out there, is this the ultimate desperation move to prevent the exodus from the aging DSP platform that has already begun? And is this just like a little bit too late, a little bit too little, or a little bit too little too late, as they say? It kind of comes out of nowhere, no announcement before, no plans. They are not showing us their cards, and then they drop 4 of these interfaces with different specs. 2 of them are very basic, and the other ones have the added 76 compressor. And you can watch all the videos from my colleagues or even here on the website and read through this to find out which one suits you better. I think on paper they all look great, okay. Maybe not, but the point here really is, what is this? What are we doing here? So first of all, the first red flag for me is no specs. No specs. Well, let's look at features. Features are okay, but no specs. What is the latency? What is the output impedance on the headphone jacks here, right here? I am a big fan of working with headphones, especially on the go. They need to be super solid. For example, the ones on Antelope Audio Interfaces sound fantastic. And there are other interfaces where they just don't sound great. Julian Krause does a lot of budget interfaces comparisons with headphones. He does the Scarlett and the Audience, and he does the SSLs, and he does all the measurements and compares them. So while, having to buy that and then try it and then decide, and then, or maybe look at a YouTube video where it says, oh, it sounds great, it sounds pretty good to me, that's not really helpful. And here we have a website where it's done right. Check out Audient Evo. Yes, sure, the living room picture, somebody crouching on the floor, but eventually they get us to the specs very, very quickly. Less about the magic, more about specifications. Here they are. There you go. That's what's missing with Universal Audio. The transparency. No transparency, assumption is gimmickry. These are technological products, and I believe we need to have some sort of measurements, and they have these measurements in specs on the other interfaces. So here's my theory. Are you ready? These are not 100% ready yet. They are releasing this quickly to gauge what the demand is. Yeah, how many clicks, how many likes do we get? And then they're going to start mass producing. This is a quickly put together thing that they just decided to do. And somebody on the board of directors, whatever, marketing or designer board, said we need something to prevent our brand losing to all these budget interfaces that don't need DSP. And because the people are seeing through it, right? This is me being a little bit negative and a little bit provocative, but it's certainly possible, right? That this is not driven by a long-term plan. This is something that is that we need to do this very quickly. What can we do here? And also, there's no tie-in with the rest of the platform. There's no plugins, no UAD plugins that they give you natively. Oh no, this could endanger our coveted DSP-protected paywall platform. No, you're getting third-party stuff that is not really related to Universal Audio, just so they can say, yeah, we're throwing in things for you. But this is not really Universal Audio as we know it. This is like a different team that said, you know what, let's put together a product that protects us, our Universal Audio DSP platform, from from other companies like Presonus, the Scarlett Interfaces, Mackie. I mean, there's so many Motu. There's so many interfaces you can't even keep track. And in the $199, $299 price range, $399 price range, very, very tops. And they said, no, we want some of that as well, because we are basically losing UAD customers to those. But there could also be a case being made that this is cannibalization, where these people now will buy these products and they will no longer buy the DSP powered ones. They will maybe even sell a DSP powered universal audio interface, which I just did. I sold my X4 because I didn't want to tie up thousands and thousands of dollars. That being said, if they are really good, if they really sound good, well, that's a win. If the latency is good, that's a win. If this is, first of all, it's USB 2.0 and not USB 3.1 generation 2, which it should be if it's a USB-C connector, but it says USB 2.0. So we should see what the latency is. All on the Mac side, this is all taken care of by Mac OS, and it's probably going to be pretty good with M1, especially with M1 machines. But how am I? Is it going to be able to drive a Sennheiser 600, a Sennheiser 650, Biodynamic 770 DT Pro, a 990, or the new Neumann headphones? So these are all headphones in the 300 ohm range all the way down to 160 ohm. And how does it sound? How independently can I work with this? I think the interface, the Volt 476, checks a lot of boxes. It's still below $400, and the ins and outs are the only interface in my book that makes sense. Yes, the nerd sitting there on the toilet like we've seen in their videos, or on a lunch table, and then out of a sudden breaking out a song and plugging in one guitar and one headphone, and that's all the interface can do. Sure, but I mean, who works like that? Yeah, if I look at these videos, I mean, who works like that? That's like they say, yes, beginners, fine. Sitting here on the toilet, making music. I mean, what the heck, Why do we always have to bring it down to the lowest common denominator? Watch this. Sure. Well, at this point, why bother with an audio interface? Just use your iPhone. Right? Just use your iPhone and scream into it. Anyway, so Volt 1, Volt 2, Volt 176, Volt 276, Volt 476. So for me, I would probably, I would go with the Volt 2, if I don't keep it basic, or with the Volt 476. At least go all out if you buy it. It's still not that expensive, but it remains to be seen how that compressor works. Like, first of all, compression is baked into the recording. You can't take it off. It's good for live stuff, for podcasting, live stuff in general, or for adding a little bit of flavor. But you don't have much control. You have an on and an off switch, and that's probably being driven by the gain knob. And so the gain knob, if you're getting close to, and if you optimize your gain, you might getting a lot more compression. If you want less compression, you have to basically back off the gain a lot, and you have a worse signal to noise ratio. So those things are not clear to me. There's also no control software really that handles all of that, because it is all analog, which is good, but you'll have very little control over things. So let me know what your thoughts are. This is a quick video. I'm calling a desperation move. This is what this might be. A last desperation move. And when moves are made in desperation, they're made hastily and just to quickly grab a few customers. Well, we shall see. And in the meantime, I'm going to check out, what was I going to check out next? Yeah, I'm doing the Antelope Zengo at the moment. I just checked out the SSL2 Plus. A lot of them have some amazing points to them, a few weaknesses as well. And I'm going to check out maybe the Apogee Symphony desktop. That looks interesting. But the marketplace is so crowded these days. So many companies trying to pull a quick one on you and, quickly sell you something. And then, 2 years later, you find out they're no longer supported. They're shutting down that product line. Everybody wants to make that quick grab. Well, that's why we got to stick together and talk it through before we jump in with our money. Massivebeatzz out.